This is Sparta!
What the f is that?
I will break down 5 main fights for UFC 300 this week for you guys, so you better stay tuned. Let's start with the first fight. Aljamain Sterling versus Calvin Kattar. My prediction in this video. Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA.
Salam alaikum. Walaikum salam.
Aljamain Sterling makes his 145-pound debut against Calvin Kattar at UFC 300. And I think I'm gonna take off this hat because probably the audio quality is not so good, right? So Aljamain Sterling, the crazy thing about this fight to me is, you have to imagine, last fight of Aljamain Sterling was on the main event of a big pay-per-view, right, in Boston. He went from main eventing a pay-per-view to being in the middle of the prelims. That is just insanity. And also Calvin Kattar normally always headlines UFC cards, not pay-per-view cards, but fight nights, and now he's on the prelims of a pay-per-view. It's just insanity. But let's break the fight down quick and easy.
Easy money for me.
So Calvin Kattar comes off an injury that he suffered in his fight against Arnold Allen over 1.5 years ago, and he's finally back in the octagon. He has been a little bit of a win-loss guy recently, more wins than losses obviously, but still, I mean, that CT he got from Holloway, I don't think he can ever recover from this. But he's a very good boxer, right? He's famous for his boxing, it's really crisp boxing, great stand-up overall. It's not a bad grappler by any means, has only 1 submission loss, but he faces a guy that is not your average grappler. He's not just some random submission guy, he is the grappler of the 135-pound division, Aljamain Sterling, who was a long-reigning, you could say, dominant champion at 135. Some people call him the greatest bantamweight of all time. That's up for discussions, obviously. So that's a pretty interesting stylistic matchup. You have a boxer against a grappler. The question is, who can implement their game better on the other guy? Now, as I said, Calvin Kattar has a solid ground game. He's only been submitted once. And what's also impressive is he fought guys like Renato Moicano, who are absolute dominant studs on the ground. Like, Moicano is also not your average submission guy. Moicano is a freaking beast on the ground.
What's up, Biggie Apple? This man's the guy!
But I just think Aljamain Sterling just brings a different style to the cage. Aljamain Sterling knows really well, that's why it's called the Funk Master, how to mix in his kind of odd, out-of-the-pocket striking, because his striking is not... He's not a orthodox 1-2-3 high kick guy. He doesn't throw the most normal combinations. He comes to you from weird angles. He pushes the pace, comes at you with a ferocious pace, and just throws random strikes at you coming from nowhere. His kicks come from nowhere. They're not the most technical, but they're efficient with his style. And he throws them and sets up his takedowns with that. And he does that really, really well. I mean, it worked against everyone. Well, didn't work against Piotr Jan in the first fight, but everyone other than Sean O'Malley and Marlon Moraes. You know what I mean? Another factor that I see is Calvin Kattar is 36 years old. Aljo is also not the youngest, 34, but Calvin Kattar is 36 years old. After that grueling injury, 1.5 year layoff, coming back, you never know how they really come back after that. Whilst Aljamain Sterling has been more inactive, fighting. This is the first kind of little timeout that he gets now, which is, I think he fought Sean O'Malley 8 months ago. So not that long of a layoff, a perfect layoff in my opinion, going up a division, and I don't think he will look small in there.
Too small.
He's a huge 135er, he died to make 135, and I think he's even a big 145er. He's not small for the division by any means. I think this is the perfect division for Aljamain. I do think he can make a real run there. I mean, after he beats Kattar, one more fight, one more win after that, and he fights for the title. And I can really see Aljamain just with his weird style, because Kattar likes to have his fundamental boxing, stay in range, keep it technical. And I think if a guy like Aljamain comes along, as I said, with his ferocious pace, weird striking from weird angles, just funky, that's, as I said, it's called the Funk Master, I think Kattar will have a lot of problems with that, especially after a long layoff. You have to see, if you haven't been in the cage that long, the first round normally isn't your best round. You have to find your rhythm again, find your pace again. And it's hard to find your rhythm with a guy like Aljamain, as I said, who comes from that weird angles and does weird stuff. So I can see Aljamain landing some damage on the feet, taking him down, applying the body triangle. I don't think he can finish Kattar. Kattar is very good at in defensive grappling. He's very good at defending chokes, submissions overall. And I do believe, because it's only a 3-round fight, in a 5-round fight you could see a finish, but in a 3-round fight, I do believe Aljamain Sterling will take away the unanimous decision victory and start his run for the 145-pound title. This is my prediction for the fight. Write your prediction in the description, in the comments, you guys. Would appreciate that. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, guys. Thanks so much in advance. Check out the Bloodsport merch, bloodshop.net. New collection just dropped. Check it out. Stay bloody, guys. And until the next one, bye-bye. Bloodsport out.